How should we respond when we hear someone say to us, "Oh, I just love the Jewish people"? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 2 of the Torah portion of Vayigash. The drama is the good word. The drama that has unfolded before us in Bereshit, Genesis chapter number 44, and now goes over into chapter 45, is compelling, it's exciting, and it's hopeful. In chapter 45, verse 1, and it says, Joseph was unable to restrain himself before all those who stood by him, and he called out, "Have everyone go out from me," so that no one stood with him while Joseph made himself known to his brothers. This word restrain, afak, it is the same word that is used back in chapter number 43, where Joseph finally meets his brother Benjamin after a 22-year absence. And it says that he responded to Benjamin in verse 29, "Elohim show favor to you, my son." And Joseph hurried, for his emotions were deeply moved towards his brother, and he looked for a place to weep and went to his room and wept there. Then it says in verse 31, he washed his face and came out. And here's that word again, afach, saying he controlled himself. He strengthened himself. He got himself together. So when Yehuda is standing before him and he is making this case, is it a recognition of Joseph's governmental and imperial authority and he's pleading for mercy? Or is it a veiled threat? You're going to do one thing for sure today. You're going to let my brother go home. It says in verse 34 of the previous chapter, "How do I go up to my father if the boy is not with me, lest I see the evil that would come upon my father?" That is, my father would die. Yehuda finally says something that convinces Joseph this issue is resolved. They're not going to treat Benjamin the way they treated me. These men have been changed by the processes of humility and brokenness that they've gone through, just like I have. So it says that he is no longer able to control himself. Now, how the brothers would have responded to see this powerful Mitzrite with the headdress and the garb and been speaking Mitzrite language to them, Egyptian, suddenly began to shake and convulse and scream at his servants around him, "Get away, everyone leave the room." And then to hear this man turn toward them, shaking powerfully, and raise his voice and say, "Ani Yosef. Ani Yosef. I am Yosef." When he would have removed his headdress, if he had a wig on, whatever, to reveal his identity, he says, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" It simply says that the brothers trembled. They shook in front of him. What an understatement. The emotional explosion going on in this room had to be unreal. One of the perplexing questions that I have heard for the last 20 years in the Hebrew Roots movement is, how do we get our brother, the Jews, to recognize us? How do we get them to let us come home? There has been a large number of people that I have seen convert to some version of Judaism through the local synagogues, a conservative synagogue, just trying to find a way to legitimately get home, knowing that when they go before the rabbinical board, that one of the issues that will be raised and questions asked will be about Jesus, or as people have danced around that, no, I don't believe in Jesus, knowing in their mind, I believe in Yeshua. A lot of people have done that. I'm not going to throw a stone at someone if they've done that. I understand their heart and what it is that they're trying to accomplish. The goal has been to be able to go home to Israel. Having been in Israel at this point 4 different occasions, my heart still beats there somewhere. But when you're there, you recognize you're at someone else's home. It's like being a guest in someone else's home. You're polite. At least we should be polite. You recognize that this is their place. But we also recognize this is also our place. The goal can never be to replace or shove anyone else out of their place to make room for ourselves. How are we going to get there? How are we going to be restored to Yehuda? When are they going to let the walls down? Well, the question could be asked in reverse. When are we going to let our walls down? The brass attitude, the heart that comes across and saying, you're just going to have to take me as I am, may not be the best way to get things across. Anytime you start out in a new relationship with anyone and you are abrupt, you are sharp in your words, you are demanding in your tone, that's not going to get a relationship started off well. We need to sit down and find in our conversation where the common ground is. We need to listen and listen well. The goal is not just to listen and wait for them to shut up so you can tell them what's already going through your mind. That's what we commonly do. Someone's talking to us and we've already formulated our response to their words. We're just waiting for them to hush. That's not good listening. Listening means hearing all that they have to say, considering what they just had to say, and then asking questions that clarify and offer a response. That's good hearing and good responding. We've not done that very well. You may throw a stone or point a finger and say, well, neither has the other side. And that's part of our problem, is that we see that we have 2 sides. Joseph is saying the struggle is over. There's no need for any more dramatic play between us. I am your brother, and I have the ability to care for you. There are 5 more years of famine. We've been apart 22 years. Enough is enough is enough. Let's reconcile. Come to me and let me embrace you. Joseph is a type of Yeshua, Mashiach ben Yosef, Messiah, the son of Joseph, who came as Joseph did to care for us, to provide for us, to deliver us from the world's problems, to satisfy us, to protect us, to deliver us. He is a type and shadow. The parallels between Joseph's life and Yeshua's life they're amazing. It's a long, long list. Yeshua is saying to us, stop being on different sides. Reconcile with me. Be restored to me. And can I tell you that being restored to Yeshua means that we need to be restored to one another? This portion of the Torah is relational, heavily relational. And this is just something that you and I are going to have to learn to work through in dealing with broken relationships. May I help us. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, shalom.